You think Juicy's a nice guy, but really,
This poor girl over here, man, they trying to kill her. Cause man, she quit whining. They need to kill her. She don't appreciate nothing.
She needs to just do what they say.
Saved her life.
I don't see the problem.
Just saved her life, and that was fine. It was like, oh,
Even Master Chief is like, yeah, this kind of up. Yeah, exactly. How come you can't think like Master Chief?
The hero of the show is telling you this is wrong, and you're like, no,
Chief,
man.
you know, he's
stupid, man.
he doesn't know what he's talking
this
about.
is what you need to do. You just need to do that.
Master Chief's a bitch falling for them goo eyes.
I don't know this Chief. I don't know this Chief. He's all sensitive.
Man, what
and
happened to you, Master Chief? You used to be beautiful, baby. Everyone, do you enjoy Double Toasted? Then put it on your body. Check out our tpublic.com merch store where you'll find all these wonderful designs that look great on high quality t-shirts with more designs coming soon. Or check out other high quality items such as mugs, pillows, tote bags, and more. Once again, that is tpublic.com, teepublic.com, or click the link in the description below. Paramount looked at Netflix and said, you gone, Netflix. Gone with your witches and your cupheads and your castles and your vineyards and all that stuff over there. You gone with your cartoons and your obscure fantasy shit over there. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. I mean, yeah, you got video games down a little bit. You got fans over there praising you for getting it right. But we got one of the biggest video game titles over here on Paramount Plus.
How would you live your life differently?
Netflix, y'all ain't got that Halo like we do. Sure, it's 10 years late. But,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
hey, better late than never. Everybody loves Halo.
Sure.
That's why we need Paramount Plus more than ever. Paramount said we bringing Master Chief back into the game.
Good.
It ain't Paramount said it ain't over until we say it's over, goddamn.
Okay, all right.
So for all of y'all who are still, because you know that's the thing. You sit over there talking about it's waned. This time has passed. No, you just ain't got no loyalty.
Oh, that's
That's what it is.
I'm disloyal, as
Yeah.
someone might say.
Yeah, man. Fair weather fan over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were on that Halo back in the day.
I was.
You were smoking that Halo back in the day,
Some
baby.
good
but
shit,
now-
man.
It was some good, but now look at you. Now that you got your Elden Rings and all that, your onion rings.
That ring. I have a new ring
You got a new ring. You ain't got them Halos no more. I got them rings, baby. So now they got all that. You know, everybody talking about, yeah, Halo. What about Halo? But for all you hardcore, loyal fans out there, Paramount said, we ain't forgot you, baby. We gonna bring it back. We gonna let people recognize the power of Master Chief and them Halos out there, because we got the Halo show coming. This is the show that's coming to Paramount Plus March 24th, and that is going to be released because for a long time it was Spielberg out there talking about, yeah, man, you know, y'all, everybody want to make Halo, but everybody hold off because I got this shit. Ain't nobody gonna make it like old Spielberg gonna make it over here. Oh, is that Ready Player One over? Oh shit!
He's easily distracted by shiny things.
Oh, shit. Is that another ring?
Oh, is that the BFG?
Yeah.
It's the post?
Yeah, man. So he kind of got distracted too.
Yeah, about 10 years distracted.
Yeah,
Happens to the best
Yeah, he
of
was
us.
on stage talking about, oh, y'all don't know Halo until that Berg bring you Halo. But now it's finally here. It's finally here, y'all, on Paramount Plus. And they say, you know what, everybody, oh my God, everybody in droves. How can I get that plus, that Paramount Plus right there? Yeah. This deals with Master Chief and the Covenant, the aliens on the Covenant. Mm-hmm. You know, the Covenant's coming in and doing what they do, just being a bunch of dicks and raiding and killing people and taking over things.
Yeah, religious zealots.
Religious zealots, yeah. If you ain't, hey, look, if you ain't on that Covenant, then you gotta go.
You're a demon.
You're a demon. You're a heretic.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't believe. But unlike Christianity, by the way.
Yes.
You know, no, it's much different.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not an allegory. It's not an allegory. No.
That alien shit, that's something
That's different.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is, in the game, you had Master Chief come in and say, hey, y'all don't worry about it. I'll take care of this. We'll send them back where they came from. Right? But thing is, see, this is where we get different here.
Oh, okay.
You know, Master Chief's been out fighting, defending the galaxy, and you know, and getting rid of these aliens, these religious zealots and everything. no one has ever sat down and said, you know, Master Chief, what about you? Tell us your story. You know, no one's ever gotten to really know Master Chief. He's like, you know what? No one's ever asked.
That's true. I guess.
This is what this is. This is more or less Master Chief's story. Is it fascinating to sit down and hear Master Chief's story and where he came from and his background and everything? Or is it one of those situations where, shit, I'm sorry I asked?
Yeah. Might be one of those situations.
Yeah. Well, you know, whoa, look at the time, Master Chief. Gotta go, man. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Let me tell you about my child. Nah, hey, man, we'll catch up on
Yeah,
that
I know.
later.
Trial trim.
We'll meet at Starbucks tomorrow.
I went through it.
Yeah. Everybody's really clamoring for. They are rooting for another good video game adaptation.
Sure.
And
What's the first one?
What was the first one? I don't know.
The first good video game.
I don't know. I ain't worried about it.
I'll say
the-
Castlevania.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go back and even say there's some other things they had promised. But this right here, you know, everybody's clamoring for a good video game property. So I don't think anybody's looking at this and saying, don't do this, don't make it. You know, a lot of people are saying, let's see what you can do. Let's see what you got. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Halo, the show.
After living in the dark.
Your rage.
I'm mad at you, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. Somebody in the chat, that's so corny, but I give it to you. Somebody in the chat said, Master Chief Theater.
Yeah.
I had to stop.
That's pretty good.
I'm a little mad at you, but
That's fine.
I give it to you. That was funny.
On me. We're all we have.
I'm still falling.
He's like, oh shit.
Oh shit! I have a parachute on.
It's just us.
Halo. Let's be fair, because I don't want to come in here looking like we're making fun of this. Because Master Chief, let's give credit where credit is due. Master Chief is one of the biggest video game icons or mascots out there.
Sure.
You know, that Spartan suit.
You can say he's the face of Xbox.
For a long time. Yeah, you know, that really was the biggest seller for Xbox was
Yes.
the Halo games.
Yes.
So I do want to come in with respect to what this franchise has achieved, and it does make sense at this point in time. Even if the games have kind of fallen off a little bit, it's still a legendary franchise, and so you cannot blame somebody for coming in and trying to make a series of this.
Of course. No, that
I don't
makes a
think
lot
so.
of sense. Yeah.
I played 1.5 games. You played all the games.
I played all of them.
Have you played any of these at all?
Yeah, when it first came out, I played, I think, the first and second one.
Okay. So you're familiar with it.
Somewhat. I mean, honestly, it's been some decades.
Martin's like, I was just shooting shit.
That was almost 20 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of people are gonna come in, and that's why I say, you know, I don't want to come in here and just make these comparisons right off the bat and saying that, oh, it ain't as good as, because there's a lot more to it. Because listen, first of all, and we already see it, we already know this. You already saw the trailer, and you were doing it before you even saw the show. There's gonna be a lot of comparisons to your boy out there.
Such destruction.
Master Chief taking my shit.
Hey, you let Boba Fett have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Technically, Master Chief was first, my man.
Sure. Different medium.
Different medium, yeah, you know, and listen, he was out there before you were ever out there doing your thing. So, The Mandalorian, this is definitely going to be compared to The Mandalorian. Reasonably, yes. Unfairly, also, I think, yes. You know, because the reason why you have Master Chief who protects a kid and goes to space and more so wears a helmet. that's the big thing.
Yeah,
he wears a helmet, man.
does, yeah.
You know, that
He ain't afraid to take it off though.
no, not at all. So that's the thing. You know, once you go into space, you got a helmet, you got a kid at your side, it's going to be, oh, man.
I got this spiffy helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, a kid wants to join me? I can't do it, man. I want to, but come on.
Man, you just ripping off the Mandalorian. Why don't you step your ass back?
No, I swear, I wasn't even going to take this kid.
Yeah.
You're gonna take that goddamn kid.
Fine, I'll take the helmet off.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You know, because the kid he's protecting, sure. He's protecting a kid and carrying him around. But the thing is that he's protecting, and I'm talking about Master Chief. Master Chief in this, he's protecting a teenage girl. So, sure, you got a space guy with a helmet. That comparison, I understand. But, when you get into this whole thing of tough guys protecting teens, the Mandalorian ain't got no monopoly on that shit.
No.
If you want to talk, really, if we want to go back, because more than the Mandalorian, because let's talk about it for real. The Mandalorian's protecting a puppet. All right, that's what it is.
It's a cute fucking puppet.
It's a cute puppet, and that puppet sold the show. My wife, who don't even like Star Wars, she was glued to the Mandalorian every week. She called that shit the Baby Yoda show.
Yeah, a lot of people
Which
did.
it pretty much was.
It was. Baby Yoda taking over all that shit, by the way. Baby Yoda took over Boba Fett's show.
Out of the way, Boba Fett. It's me. I'm gonna handle this. My own episode.
Yeah.
I gave you plenty of chances.
But before there was The Mandalorian, let's talk about some of the things that were out there. Because even The Mandalorian's Lone Wolf and Cub, the comic book series, the manga. But if you want to get into like tough guys out there protecting teenage girls or teenagers in general, let's talk about things like Leon the Professional.
Sure.
Let's talk about like True Grit. Just to name some.
Wolverine.
Out there. Wolverine.
Yeah, Logan,
yes.
yeah.
Logan. I mean,
it's just a popular trope.
Yeah. it is.
it's a very popular trope that they do this with. If you want to talk about one of the greatest tough guy protecting the kid movies, is this right here. And y'all remember this one, man. This is one of my favorites right here.
Oh, that's your ass.
Yeah, people, Terminator 2 is one of the greatest ones. Those are movies. I mean, I'm just giving y'all examples so y'all can't call bullshit on it. Shit, let's not even talk about video games.
I just want some simple gear enough to set me on my way.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
No one's ripping off anything. These ain't novel themes. Everybody's using them to great effect.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think.
A lot of them do it well, and it's across different mediums and genres. So,
Yeah, but everybody gonna see that helmet. Look at this bitch trying to be the Mandalorian. Man, take that shit off.
Okay.
All right. Shit. Woo, I can't breathe anyway. Yeah, man. While it's unfair to solely compare this to The Mandalorian, I will say that it still might suffer from overfamiliarity. I mean, that right there, I think it's a fair complaint. Mainly for fans who want to see, this is mainly for fans who want to see, I think, things that they recognize in the game. That's going to be the immediate big seller for this. So if you're a person who's looking forward to this because you love Halo and you still love Halo, got fun memories of growing up with Halo, maybe this is something that you'll be interested in. Or not, which is why I have this guy over here to talk about this.
Yeah, to your point, saying that fans would like this because it's giving them everything that they want, and showing everything that they want. The thing is like, we've already seen this for 20 years, and so we're already very familiar with it. And so the fact that you're literally reading a textbook and just doing all the terms that everyone's just already familiar with as a fan, that just makes it really boring. It's like, I know this lore, I know the backstory and history. It's like, okay, can we just get to something else with these characters? Let's see the personality of these people. And the other part of it is when you're throwing so much at the screen, the newcomers are like, this is overwhelming. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm just bored. And so I don't think you're pleasing anybody.
There's hints of other space dramas and operas and shows out there.
Aliens is knocking at the door for the last 20 years like, that's mine.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, there's even hints of something like The Expanse in here.
Sure.
And as I said, the familiarity is not bad. I just think that there's a lot of other things out there, science fiction in particular, where it's like, all right, as somebody who was watching this, I wasn't blown away by it because I've seen, and I don't want to make this seem like I'm trying to insult this show. I think I've just seen better.
Yes, you have. We all have seen better.
and familiar's not bad, man. I've seen better. There's a lot of better stuff out there, but consider this like a snack.
An appetizer.
To
other sci-fi properties.
It's light. It's light. It ain't gonna fill you up, but it's gonna hold you over to that next big meal or better thing that comes along. If you are randomly catching this, or you're curious about it, that's at least what I think. But keep in mind, it's 2 episodes. I don't think it's even fair to judge us from 2 episodes where we're expecting to see this this character, this main character, this Master Chief character, because it's all about his growth. You know, I don't know if this is really going to get better once we start getting into this character's background, his origin, his humanity,
his trauma,
his trauma. You know, it could be getting a whole lot better, but they just did, pretty much these 2 episodes, they feel like setup.
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm more in the boat with you in as much as, like I said, it's been almost 20 years since I played the game.
Yeah.
So I don't have any kind of attachment or affiliation that fans have. I don't have if this needs to be here, or you showed me this already, I'm bored.
Yep.
It's almost like I'm coming in brand new. So watching this first episode, I was like, wow, they really spent money on this.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. It was enough to rope me in. I never felt bored by it. And I was like, okay, I'm learning about the world building. And you talk about things like The Expanse and all these other shows. Like, so much of that, I just never watched. I knew they were out there, and I was like, oh, yeah. I'll get to it someday. So, like, this is where I land. If I'm not watching this, I'm watching Star Trek. Also on Paramount Plus. But they seem to put a lot of money in these shows. And I just started watching new season of Picard, and I was like, all right, what is this like an alternative meal, if we want to go with that analogy? As, Corey, to your point, with only 2 episodes, it's hard to know whether this is going to get better or not. But it's enough for me to be like, okay, I'm digging it.
It's not without surprises. Like I said, this is sort of a very familiar format. This is sort of a very familiar story. But there were things that caught me off guard, because I was thinking, you know, listen, my association with the game and my memory of the game is kids playing the game. My nephews played this game. My kids around my that I knew played this game. And also, this is from Spielberg's Amblin, so I thought, this is gonna be a nice, good family-friendly space adventure out there. A nice adventure for the kids in particular, man. And even when it opened up with a group of kids out there frolicking in the woods.
Getting high.
And I'm just kind of like, oh shit, here we go. We got Master Chief and the Mystery Gang. All right, sure, cool. And I felt like, wow, so this is going out of its way to really be family friendly right here. And then the show said, nah, you know what? Nah, kids, man. They said,
boy, how they did it.
Said, and the show, here's how we feel about these goddamn kids right here. These aliens came out of a cave and blew all their little asses up. And I'm talking about heads exploding, limbs being severed. One poor little girl I'm talking about a child just crawling on the ground. She up here, her legs way back there. Yeah. Just 2 bloody
They were wiggling fast.
Her little legs were wiggling. And I was like, oh my God, they went off, man. Yeah. Like, and I'm gonna tell you, some of these things, because this thing has a lot of violence, and it has a lot of, well, I won't say a lot, but it has some nudity. And I will say that the least is used to effect, especially with the violence. Because that violence, they set up at the beginning to make you hate these aliens right here, man. Because
there's nothing they can do at this point to win me back.
They can't, no. Them, I don't get, no, man, I get to hell with you, your God, and everything else. I mean, because they came down on the planet, the show opens up with there's 3 factions you actually have.
Yes.
You have the Marines and the government.
UNSC.
The UNSC. Then you got, then you have the
Separatists.
Covenant here.
Yeah, the Covenant.
You have the Covenant, and then you have these rebel separatists who have their own, trying to just have their own, I guess, their own government.
Yeah. Leave us alone. They're like those guys.
We want our own rule, know.
There's colonies that are rebelling against the UNSC.
And those aliens came down to that colony, and they were bullies, man. The first thing they did, like they got the adults out the way just so they could corner kids and kill them.
Yeah.
Just to send a message. And I said, no, them. So as far as making a villain right here, which I think it'll be very cool if later on we get a backstory that does some Game of Thrones thing and says, all right, you know what? Well, hey, I got a point too.
Which they do in the games. Matter of fact, actually voiced by, the guy that Mr. Peanuts. Help me out here.
Mr. Peanuts.
Yeah. It was work.
I was just about to say. I thought you actually meant the planners got tap dancing.
No.
So, you talking about?
Why are we blanking on his name?
Oh, Jesus,
Keith David. He voices an elite named the Arbiter,
Okay.
and who becomes a friend of Master Chief. And you learn about him, and you learn about the Covenant and how his species, the elite, as they're called, how they're manipulated all this time. And so they go into the backstory. But now they're just monsters here.
Well, maybe later on, because I think one of the cool things in here are also the aliens. But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Sure.
But I'm telling you, right now, I hate these aliens. Just a bunch of. I mean, really, they're like space Nazis almost in a way, coming down and just killing kids.
Yeah, they don't look at humans as another species. They look at them as livestock or insects. Demons.
You know, I want to know how fans particularly feel about one thing here. Because one of the things that they do here is they have Master Chief. And we all know Master Chief because we play the games. Now, you tell me, Chris, I think in the games, we never really see who Master Chief is.
No, very subtle hints of his face, like in one of the games, but for the most part, that helmet stays on.
The helmet stays on. You get the back of his head or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe get his eyes.
Yeah, but you never get a full picture of what Master Chief looks like.
Correct.
And in this show, Pablo Schreiber, who plays Master Chief, he said, "Fuck that! You better put this camera on me, man."
Yeah. I want
He's
people
like,
to see
"I'm an
this.
actor, you know. I want to get hired again, you know. I want to know who this is."
Well, that's one of the things that draws me to her because I love Pablo Schreiber as an actor.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's great, but you know,
Wire.
the whole thing is one. I don't know how fans are going to take this because Pablo Schreiber, who I think is good in his part, who I think is a good actor anyway. Well, this might go against what fans like. They're like, well, you're not supposed to see his face, or at least not that much. But also when you're telling a story and what they're trying to do here. Now, some people are mad at Paramount because Paramount Plus came in. The people running the show, they said, well, you know, they pretty much did what all executives do. They said, well, you know what, we're just going to take this and it's cute what y'all have done, but we're going to do our own thing.
Yeah.
And
Which is never the great way to say.
Yeah, I know how much you can tell with that, but I always thought it'd be cool if you could have just one show where we don't see the main character. I even thought that would have been cool for The Mandalorian.
Sure.
But at the same time, if you're doing a show where you're developing this guy's backstory, you're doing this, you know, trying to find the human side of this character, then you're gonna have to show his face. So I kind of get why they do that. But as a fan, how do you feel about that?
I understand it. The thing is, they were kind of, they got themselves in the corner, and so does, well, originally Bungie and now 343, who are the current developers of the game, is that the fact that you haven't shown his face for 20 years, really. It's like, well, no matter what we do, if we do show it, it's going to be disappointing. Like, that's the situation they found them. They've trapped themselves. And so it's like, okay, you're going to show it. Okay, then make sure that it is under like certain circumstances where it's like it's dire, where it means something, where it's impactful, where it's emotional, it's dramatic. And the show, in my opinion, makes the mistake where he's just like, I'm just gonna take my helmet off and here I am. I'm just like, that probably wasn't the best way to do it. I thought that was really disappointing. You need to make it a big deal, and they didn't. They just didn't. They dropped the ball completely.
Okay, so I halfway agree with you.
Okay.
I think they could have done it in a way that was more dramatic.
Yeah.
Done something that was a bigger deal because he never takes his helmet off.
No.
We never see him.
Yeah.
But I do think they set it up to where it made sense. I don't want to tell you the scene, but it wasn't like he just took the helmet off like, God damn, that's hot. No, it was like, you know,
which to me would have been fine. I'm like, I bet that's hot.
Yeah. It was a meaning in the story for him to take it off, for him to connect to a character. So it just wasn't like they did it in a useless way.
I got to tell you though, that character that he did it for, I don't think that's gonna be a lot of people's favorite character in the show. I was not a fan of her.
Oh really?
No, I really.
Okay.
I thought she was like, all right, little snot-nosed brat. Okay, that's what we're going with now.
Everybody she knows is wiped out, and her dad killed in front of her, and now you're like, oh, you snot-nosed. What you over there whining for?
He saved her.
Oh man!
He saved her goddamn life.
Yeah, but how
he saved her.
Man, she has
every right to feel how she does.
Yeah, the character the teenager that he's trying to protect is Quan Ha. Now, somebody tell me the actress's name because I think she's very good in this, and I don't think she's being bratty. I think that she's been through a lot of shit, and also, this is one of the cool things about the show, is that she has been. There's a theme that goes through here where everybody has been brainwashed, and I kind of like that, because what happened with everyone, the Covenant is brainwashed. You know, they're religious zealots. These the Marines, they've been trained to do one thing, and that is kill.
And not ask questions.
And not ask questions. It's almost like that movie Soldier with Kurt Russell, you know? Yeah. These rebels here, this faction, they've been taught this whole time that the Spartans are here to just control us, use us. They almost fall into some propaganda. So everybody, I like how the show has this whole thing of everybody's believing what they've been taught without having a wider scope of what really is happening. At least that's the potential to go there, because the aliens haven't done that with yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't mind his character. I actually liked him.
I don't know. It was just the scene that just didn't sit well with me, where they're like, listen, where she's confronted by the UNSC, and they're like, listen, we're trying to appeal to you. The other colonies, they're not listening to us because of this, because no one knows about the alien threat. It's out there, and they're trying to tell people, and the colony's like, that's propaganda. We're not listening to you. It's like, we need someone else like you to tell them, because they don't trust us. So go ahead. And she's like, what if I tell them it was you? And it's like, what are you talking about? You're all going to be killed.
Okay, see, you've been brainwashed. Seriously, you've been playing these
not
games,
been brainwashed.
and you're on the side of the Halos or the Master Chiefs and all the Marines and all
the
that.
Master Chiefs.
And so you always see them as the heroes. Anything they say and do, you like, yes, follow them, they're right. But from her perspective, her and her people have been over by them since birth. So them coming to her with a deal and being like, yeah, I don't trust you. Oh, you want me to be the shield, the spokesperson for you? Yeah, I don't think so.
And let's not forget that what they were talking about doing to her in the first place. So she wasn't completely wrong.
Yeah, she wasn't wrong.
She know, man. She's like, I know what the is up. I know what y'all doing.
Yeah, you trying to praise them. Look how they react to her saying like, I don't want to do that. Like, all right, well then kill her.
Well, they knew she was gonna be an issue. It's like, all right, we tried.
Boy, don't you ever have no kids?
No shit.
Don't you get a dog?
Listen to me.
See, people out there, you think Juicy's a nice guy, but really,
this poor girl over here, man, they trying to kill her. Cause man, she quit whining. They need to kill her. She don't appreciate nothing.
She needs to just do what they say.
It saved her life.
I don't see the problem.
It saved her life, and that was fine. It was like, oh,
even Master Chief is like, yeah, this kind of. Yeah, exactly. How come you can't think like Master Chief?
The hero of the show is telling you this is wrong, and you're like, no,
Chief,
man.
he's
stupid, man.
He doesn't know what he's talking
this
about.
Is what you need to do. You just need to do that.
Master Chief's a bitch, falling for them goo-goo eyes.
I don't know this Chief. I don't know this Chief. He's all sensitive.
Man, what
and
happened to
stuff.
you, Master Chief? You used to be beautiful, baby.
Oh my god!
Right.
Man, you a little rough on this right now. I ain't gonna, man, that little ass brat right man, she was almost killed.
Yeah, I know, and it helped her.
Did you finish watching the show?
I did.
To that point, yeah, when she says no, I want to do that, and they're like, all right,
Kill her. Get rid of her. This liability. Get out of here.
Now, to his argument, he's like, hey, man, we're in the middle of a war.
That's right.
we got to do.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing, the whole thing is just the antagonistic relationship between the two of them.
Oh,
and I was like, okay, we're just going through this.
Boy,
We're just going through the motions again.
Well, if you were
All
Master
right.
Chief, you and her definitely would have had a
Yeah, I would have been, yeah.
Ooh, boy, Juicy, I got to take a break right now.
I know. Wow. What she's been through.
Yeah, the hell with what she's been through.
He saved her.
Let's let this man cool off real quick and think about what he's saying.
Yeah, what? I'm speaking the truth.
I speak the truth.
Yeah, I know what I'm about.
Damn, Juicy. Damn, man, you were rough. I like the way chat talking about you, savage, man.
Well, I know what happens.
You need a promo code, man. To set your ass down. That's what you need.
Man, Master cut my foot off.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't have ran.
People,
They provided a nice home for you.
I gotta do this ad right here real quick. So, now what a time to do it. Maybe I can sell you something to make you happy. Man.
Maybe. We'll see. What you got for me?
Can I buy happiness online? People, if you're watching Paramount Plus or any other platform out there, you're watching your shows online, chances are you spend a lot of time online and doing other things such as shopping. And I'm going to see if I can find a promo code for understanding and happiness.
Sure.
I'm going to go there. Let me see if I can go there to Honey.
Intro to empathy.
Yeah, can I get some empathy over here? Maybe we can get a promo code for some empathy. Yeah, people, I am talking about Honey. I didn't even know, because I don't do this normally. I do it now, but there are a lot of promo codes that you can buy or look for online that will get you discounts on certain items that you're looking for. Thing is, you don't know how to find these codes sometimes. And if you do, it's a big hullabaloo to go looking for it. You're just looking for a discount. I just want a percentage off an item that I'm trying to buy. And you want to do it with no hassle. Well, that's where Honey comes in. And that is right, Honey. Let me go over here and look at the right URL so you know what it goes. It's not just honey, because if you type in honey, it's going to take you to actual honey, jars of honey and bees and all that. No, here it is right here. It is joinhoney.com. And now this is the way this works. So you're on your favorite site, and when you get ready to check out, if you're cool and you have honey installed on your browser over here, then what that is going to do is when you get ready to check out, the honey button will appear as a little pop-up on the side, like about in this area over here. And all you have to do is click apply coupons. And it's going to search for coupons that it can find on that site. And if Honey finds a working coupon, then all you got to do is sit back and just watch the prices drop. Now, I do use this especially when I'm buying equipment out there. I told you the last time I used this, I was buying some, not USB cords, I was buying some HDMI cords. Mm-hmm. Usually I'm buying equipment like that, and I do all the time because these things are frail to go out. So since I'm buying them all the time, I go to Amazon and Honey will pop up. And here's the thing, if it can't find something right then and there for me, it'll say, hold on. It was cheaper before. It's probably going to be cheaper again. Now, you can buy it if you want to, but if you can wait, then it might be cheaper. And it can be applied to a lot of items that you're looking for. So here's what you do. Try it out for yourself. Thing is, this is what I say about these things all the time, and I'm being serious. It's free. You don't lose anything. You actually have more to gain by trying it out. And the way you can do that and also help us out at the same time, hey, I'm trying to help you. Why don't you help us? Go over to joinhoney.com/toasted so that they know that Double Toasted sent you. Yeah, we were talking about the actors. We're talking about the plot and the characters to varying different degrees here. I think Martin is probably liking it the most out of all of us, perhaps. I definitely think I'm liking it a little more than you. Yeah. But I do understand where both of you are coming from with this. The money is in this show. No doubt about it. The money's there, man. But I think the money is mostly in CG. I don't think the money is, because sometimes they go to these practical sets, and those sets look like the Super Mario Brothers movie or something.
Yeah, they're like
plastic.
Yeah, what's that?
They're bare.
They're kind of bare and they're tiny. They look like Demolition Man. They went to the sewers or something, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that the sets feel small sometimes, but they expand things with a lot of money being thrown into to CG. Also, I will say this: those suits, those Spartan suits, they look good. I thought they looked great, man. And also, but the CG is they spent a lot of money on that. You
can spend a lot of money on CG and it can still look bad, but this looks pretty good.
No, I enjoyed it, man. I tell you, because I really like. First of all, I like the I do like the aliens, the Covenant. I like them. I think the money that they spent on them was very good. They got one called the Mercy, who is I guess he's their leader.
I know the prophets.
The Grand Poobah.
Yeah.
The head mother.
The camel guys, right?
Yeah, and he looks great, man. They do a lot of close-ups on him, and the CG on that alien is awesome. Yep. I love the way their ships look and their bases look. It all looks organic. It all looks like organic vegetables or something, Yeah.
Eggplants.
Eggplants and mushrooms, man. Yeah. I thought those looked very good. I thought those were very thought out.
I like that whole thing with the planet that has exploded and they've just had it connected by cables.
Yeah, that's what we got there, man. Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff in here visually, and like I said, they put a lot of money in there. I think the casting's good, man. Not only do I think Pablo Schreiber, I mean, listen, you're not going to satisfy everybody with this iconic character. So some people are going to hate this guy. I thought he was doing pretty good, but still, there's not a lot to say because it's in the early stages of this character.
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, that's always been the issue with Master Chief, that he just feels like a blank slate, and that was done on purpose.
Yeah,
sure.
It's just that like his personality comes through when he's with the character of Cortana, who is not in these episodes.
No, she was not in these episodes, but Cortana is
his AI companion.
That is going to be a character of contention for some people because
Her design
is different in the show, but that's her in the game right there. But overall, I think the casting is pretty good. I tell you, they did something here that I thought was excellent that they usually don't pay attention to. Believe me, I just saw some movies where they did not care when they cast younger people. The younger versions of not only Pablo Schreiber here, but also the younger version that they have here of Dave Chappelle was great, man.
Bokeem Woodbine.
No, Bokeem, I'm sorry, keep getting those confused. Bokeem Woodbine, their younger versions in the show, that casting was spot on, man. Spot on with that. I was really impressed. As I said, it's really hard to go by 2 episodes. What I will say is that I will give this a chance because I know you were saying the show by design, Master Chief has not had much of a story.
No.
What they want to do here, and I can't appreciate this angle, what they want to do here is that they want to take a character that doesn't have any backstory or personality because you're playing him in the game, you don't care, but they said, we're going to make a show, let's explore that part of the game that's never really been explored.
Sure.
With this actor and with that character.
Well, you need that because it can't just be a show that's a shoot 'em up all the time.
Well, yeah, what angle you going to do? You're just going to take an angle where you just go around just shooting aliens? I mean, that would be boring. I really do have to admire what this has done here as far as saying, all right, if we're going to take this, let's do something that actually makes sense. It's not like let's just take it and do our own thing because we don't feel like writing something out. We don't feel like explaining to non-fans. We're trying to make money by bringing in non-fans.
Which you've seen with video game properties over and over and over.
Or you just got some wacky-ass producer or directors as no, I'm gonna do me.
Let me put my wife in this.
Yeah, the change. The change here feels like it makes sense. It's not even that much of a change. It's just taking a different route that wasn't explored in the game.
I don't know, man. They're trying, but these fans, they won't let them have it. They don't appreciate even a little bit they do. So why even try anymore?
I do appreciate because that's what they should do. I don't want to just see a repetition of the games that I've already played because that would be boring. Nor do I think that you should just go completely different direction, just have a Halo aesthetic over everything. So when you have a world and you're trying to do just force so much lore on top of people, whether I know it or people just don't know and they feel overwhelmed, a great palate cleanser is through humor to have that kind of character that like, I'm going to acclimate you to this world, okay? I'm going to make it more comedic and so it's not so self-serious. This show is way too self-serious. And that's one of my biggest issues with it. And I just think the decision to pair Chief with that other character, I'm just like, this is a weird backwards way of approaching this. I don't know why they chose to do that because it's already caustic. I just don't like that.
And I can see that, man, because listen, really when it's all said and done, who are the people that supported this franchise? It's the fans. So I do think when you mention like, man, as a person who knows these games, maybe they should have taken a different approach here or done this or built this up more. I respect that. I see that. I know it's always a way of talking about like all these fans coming in, they just think they run things, but it's for the fans, really. I mean, that's been the problem with video games for so long. Comic book and video game adaptations is that they never considered the fans, really. It was always, let's just make some money and bring in as many people as we possibly can. So I get it with this. But, again, hard to go by 2 episodes.
Sure. Oh, yeah, definitely.
It could get better. I think there's just so much better science fiction out there than this. I talked about The Expanse, the numerous things that are on Netflix right now. Raised by Wolves is on HBO. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that is just, is a little more engaging, doing more interesting things, taking more chances. This feels really straightforward right here. So right now, with that said, if I was to go by these 2 episodes and somebody said, well, would you rate it? Would you recommend it to me? I say it's a high rental. As I said, it's good for streaming. Nothing really new in there. Nothing really popping out at me that's saying, I got to catch this next time. Like I'll probably end up watching this just to see where it goes now that I'm in here. So what do you think?
Well, like as you said earlier, I'm tending to like it more than you guys. Now, but I agree with everything you said to the letter. It is that, well, okay, with only 2 episodes, it's hard to know. The potential there is certainly there to get better. And I left with the 2nd episode going like, I'm still intrigued enough to keep watching. And not in that, oh man, I can't wait. But at the same time, everything, Chris, that you talked about with Cortana, that makes me go like, oh, well, there's plenty of room for all that to show up. And it sounds pretty good. Now I'm kind of more interested to see how that gets worked into things, because I know they're going to have to do it at, to some degree at some point.
Yeah.
So it's more of a low matinee for me at right now.
Chris Herman.
Yeah, I just didn't think it had a good first impression, and I'm already bored by the first episode. I think it's an issue. I mean, this is Microsoft's flagship video game franchise, and way to deliver, but I feel like it's just super generic. It's disappointing. Maybe I'll give it a chance. Maybe I'll watch some clips online of what Chief and Cortana's relationship is.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now, disappointed. I guess I'd give it like a rental or low rental.
I'm just imagining Chris will be watching the show like Craig.
That's kind of what my face was like. Right, I guess I'll just wait a few more years for a good Halo show, I suppose. All right. Maybe a good Halo movie in the next decade. I don't know.
Drop the ball again. That's you talking right now.
Pull up that clip, Corey.
Hey, everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts.